Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
So, the tech job market right now, it's a really fascinating beast, isn't it?
It really is.
You've got these huge companies, making headlines with layoffs.
Yeah, that creates uncertainty.
Exactly. But then at the same time, AI is just exploding. So there's this weird tension, uncertainty, but also massive potential looking towards 2025.
Absolutely. And if you're trying to figure out what it all means,
Yeah, like what skills should you actually focus on? Where are the real opportunities? It can honestly feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose.
it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And having a clear picture of the underlying trends, that's pretty crucial for making good decisions, about your learning, your career path.
Totally agree. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here in this deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
We've pulled together a whole bunch of info articles with the latest stats and predictions, advice from remote work platforms.
Networking tips too, right? For
Yeah.
remote roles.
Yep. Networking strategies, and even the best ways to nail those virtual tech interviews, which are so common now.
Right.
So our mission today is basically to cut through all that noise, find the really critical insights, and give you a clear, actionable picture of the 2025 tech scene. And, remote work too.
We're aiming for those aha moments, but without, drowning you in data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of this as your curated guide to what really matters right now in tech jobs.
We'll look at the big shifts, dig into some maybe surprising numbers, and really focus on the practical stuff you can actually use.
Okay, let's dive in and let's unpack this. First up, the big picture. The overall health of the tech job market.
Right.
Because, those layoff headlines,
Yeah.
they can make you a bit nervous.
Understandably. But the long-term forecasts, they still point towards pretty significant growth.
Yeah, CompTIA, the IT Industry Association, they're saying tech jobs in the U.S. are set to grow at twice the rate of the overall workforce in the next decade.
Twice the rate.
Yeah. We're talking numbers like 6 million jobs in 2024, going up to a projected 7.1 million by 2034. That's quite a jump.
It is. And what's interesting is how consistent that growth forecast is, even with, all the economic ups and downs lately. The Bureau of Labor Statistics backs this up, too. They're seeing around, 356,700 openings annually in computer and IT jobs from 2023 right through to 2033.
Wow, okay. So sustained high demand then.
Seems like it. But, and this is the big but.
Here it comes, the skills gap.
Exactly. All that potential growth is smashing right up against a major skills shortage.
How major are we talking?
Well, IDC, the market intelligence firm, they think by 2026, over 90% of organizations worldwide will be feeling the pinch.
90%?
Yeah, and it could lead to something like $5.5 trillion in losses.
Whoa, okay.
And there's another prediction from Korn Ferry, the consulting firm. They're talking about maybe 85 million unfilled tech jobs by 2030.
85 million. That's almost hard to comprehend.
It really puts the scale of the challenge into perspective. And look, this isn't some far-off future problem.
No, it's happening now.
It is. Robert Half, the staffing agency, they found 95% of tech leaders already say it's tough finding skilled workers.
95%. Okay, so if you have the right skills or you're building them,
Then you're potentially in a pretty strong position, yeah, assuming you focus on those skills that are actually in demand.
right, which kind of leads perfectly into this interesting shift in how companies are trying to deal with this gap.
What are they doing?
Well, the Linux Foundation found that almost half, 48% of tech organizations, they're now prioritizing upskilling and cross-skilling their current employees.
Ah, interesting. So training their own people rather than just hiring externally?
Exactly. It suggests that if you're someone who's actively learning, showing you're committed to developing new skills, you might actually be more valuable than someone with, say, older qualifications but hasn't kept up.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. You've got tech changing so fast.
Right.
And the labor market's still pretty tight in some areas. It's often just smarter, maybe cheaper, for companies to invest in the people they already have.
Plus, I saw this thing from Harvard Business Review. The half-life of some tech skills, it can be as short as 2.5 years.
2.5 years? Wow, that really hammers home the need for constant learning, doesn't it? For everyone in tech.
Seriously. So, okay, skills. What kind of skills should you be focusing on right now?
Well, according to Indeed, the job site, Python seems to be top of the list currently.
Python, okay. Still holding strong.
Yeah. But close behind are things like AWS, Amazon Web Services,
Cloud skills.
Oracle, Java, JavaScript. Those are still really important foundational skills.
It's not static, is it? Things are always changing.
Oh, definitely not static. While those core languages are key, we're seeing really fast growth in other areas.
Like what?
Things like PyTorch, that's big in AI research, Rust, known for being fast and safe, TensorFlow, another major AI and machine learning framework.
Okay, lots of AML focus there.
Yeah. And also Flutter for building apps on different platforms, and Dart, which goes with Flutter.
Got it. And are there things that are becoming less in demand?
Seems so. Demand looks like it's cooling off for technologies like Xamarin, Erlang, even Azure to some extent, and iOS development specifically.
Interesting about Azure and iOS.
It just shows how quickly things shift. It really underlines why you need more than just learning one language. You need that foundational computer science understanding so you can adapt.
Adaptability is key. Okay, so market's growing, big skills gap, companies are upskilling. Let's pivot now to the other huge trend, remote work.
Right, the remote revolution.
App Academy, the Coding Bootcamp, they point out it's basically just a staple of tech culture now, right? And the pandemic just massively sped it all up.
For sure. It's definitely not just a temporary thing. FlexJobs, they specialize in remote work, found that like 2/3, 66% of workers would actually prefer full-time remote work if they could get it.
66%, that's a huge preference.
It is. And that employee demand is a major reason why so many companies are offering remote options. It's about attracting and keeping talent.
Now, we hear all these terms flying around: work from home, telecommuting, remote work. Is there a difference?
Yeah, SkillCrush, the online learning platform, helps clear this up. Basically, think of remote work as the big umbrella term.
Okay.
Work from home and telecommuting are kind of subsets, but remote work itself usually implies you can do the job from anywhere, not just your house or near an office.
Gotcha. So it's about that real location independence that a lot of tech folks are looking for.
Exactly. That's the key appeal for many.
So what are the big upsides of working remotely? App Academy listed a few.
Flexibility and work-life balance must be number one, right?
Yeah. Buffer found that 97% of remote workers actually recommend it. 97.
Wow.
Then there's productivity. Stanford research found remote workers are like 13% more productive on average.
Interesting. More productive.
And cost savings for both sides. Global Workplace Analytics estimates employers save around $11,000 a year for each remote employee.
$11,000 per employee. That adds up.
For sure. And employees save on commuting, lunches, work clothes.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, companies get access to a much wider talent pool, right? Globally, even.
True. More diverse talent pool, too, potentially.
And don't forget the environmental angle. Less commuting means a smaller carbon footprint. That's Stanford research. It suggested the average telecommuter cuts their footprint by about 3.6 metric tons a year.
Okay, so lots of benefits. It sounds pretty great, but
Right.
there have to be downsides, too.
Oh, absolutely. App Academy pointed these out, too. Isolation is a big one.
Yeah. Buffer said 20% of remote workers struggle with loneliness.
That's significant.
Wow.
And communication can just be harder sometimes, without those face-to-face cues.
Right. And then there's the risk of overworking, blurring the lines between work and home life, burnout.
Definitely a risk if you don't set boundaries. Security risks are another thing companies worry about.
And career advancement. I saw something from SHRM, the HR Society.
Yeah.
They suggested remote workers might get promoted less often.
Yeah, that's a potential concern. Visibility can be lower. So these challenges, they're really important to be aware of.
So you need to be intentional about communication, setting boundaries, staying connected.
Exactly. And maybe be more proactive about showing your value and networking internally if you're worried about career progression.
Okay, so let's say your goal is landing a remote tech job in 2025. What's the game plan?
Well, ARC, they connect remote devs with companies they really stress needing a clear strategy. Don't just spray and pray.
Right. And they also tackle some myths, like it's all freelance work.
Which it isn't, necessarily. Lots of full-time, salaried remote roles.
Or that it always pays less.
Often pays competitively, especially in tech.
Yeah. And that idea of working from literally anywhere. Sometimes there's still geographical limits, right? Legal stuff, time zones.
True, but they also say you can build social connections remotely, and you don't have to overwork if you set those boundaries we talked about.
So having that targeted approach is really key then, not just applying everywhere.
Absolutely. Focus on roles and companies that actually fit your skills, your experience, what you want long-term. Way more effective.
Okay, so where do you actually find these remote jobs? There seem to be tons of websites.
Oh, yeah. Loads. SkillCrush and Arc have great lists. You've got the dedicated remote boards like FlexJobs, We Work Remotely, Arc itself, Jobspresso, Remote.co, the list goes on.
Just remote virtual vocations, Remotive.
Skip the Drive, PayEngine, Remote. Okay, working nomads.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there are tech-specific ones, too.
Definitely. Boards like Power to Fly, Dribble, which is big for Designers Landing, Jobs, Career Vault, Authentic Jobs, Well Found, that used to be AngelList.
Right. Well found. Okay. And freelance platforms.
Yep. Upwork, Fiverr, Design Hill, TopTal, Freelancer.com. Lots of options there if you're looking for contract work.
And don't forget the traditional big boards, right? Like Indeed, LinkedIn.
Exactly. The Muse, Career Builder, Idealist, even Google for jobs. They all have remote filters now and list tons of remote positions.
Okay, so the options are definitely out there. It's almost too many options.
It can feel that way. So like we said, narrowing it down based on your skills and what you want is crucial. Use those tech-specific boards, maybe filter heavily on the general ones.
Makes sense. Now, networking remotely. That feels different. How do you do that effectively?
Yeah, it requires a different approach. I saw a really interesting Reddit thread about this, specifically for remote software engineers.
Oh, yeah. What did they suggest?
Things like actively joining virtual events, getting involved in online communities, forums, subreddits relevant to your tech stack, Facebook groups, Twitter chats, Discord servers.
Okay, so being active online where your peers are.
Exactly. And they had this really smart idea. Reach out to local web dev or marketing agencies. Not necessarily for a job, but to ask for feedback on your portfolio.
Ah, interesting angle. Why local agencies?
Well, even if they aren't hiring remote devs themselves, they're plugged into the local tech scene. They might give great feedback, maybe know someone, make an introduction.
That's clever. Leverage local connections even for remote searching.
Yeah. And of course, the basics. Tell your friends, family, old colleagues what you're looking for. Your existing network is still powerful.
Definitely. Did the Reddit thread mention any specific sites?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
A few like jsshimp.com, railsdevs.com, larrydeer.com, places where you can create a developer profile and companies might actually find you.
Nice. Passive job searching, too.
And LinkedIn obviously came up again and again. It's just indispensable for networking and finding remote roles.
Yeah, you really can't ignore LinkedIn. Your profile needs to be sharp.
Absolutely. Which leads us to the application itself. Once you find a role, making your application stand out is critical.
So what's the advice there? Ark mentioned building your personal brand online.
Right. Optimizing that LinkedIn profile is a huge part of it. Make it clear you're skilled and experienced in working remotely, if you are.
And the resume?
Revamp it. Focus on results, not just duties. Use numbers, quantify your achievements whenever possible, and tailor it. Tailor it for each specific remote job.
Don't just send the same generic resume everywhere.
Please don't. And the portfolio.
Yeah.
Increasingly non-negotiable in tech, right?
Seems like it. For developers, showing projects on GitHub?
Designers using Behance are similar. Marketers might use Wix or even Notion to showcase campaigns. Tailor it to your role.
That focus on results, on quantifiable achievements. That seems really key.
It is. Employers want proof you can deliver, especially when they can't see you in an office every day. A portfolio provides that tangible proof.
Okay. Application submitted, you impress them, now you've got the remote interview scheduled. How do you ace that?
Preparation is everything. Caquan, the recruitment agency, and Remote.co had tons of tips here. First things first. Tech setup.
Test everything beforehand. Camera, mic, internet.
Yes. Tidy up your background. Make it look professional. Get rid of distractions. Tell your family. Silence your phone.
Have your charger handy.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than your laptop dying mid-interview.
Oh, God, yeah. Download any apps you need ahead of time. And clarify. Who's calling who?
Right. Avoid that awkward waiting game.
Yeah.
Getting the tech right reduces stress on the day.
Totally. It shows you're prepared, detail-oriented. Then there's how you present yourself.
Dress professionally, even from home.
Generally, yes. It puts you in the right mindset and shows respect for the process. Good lighting is important too, so they can actually see you clearly.
And research. Research the company, its culture.
Definitely. Website, careers page, maybe a company handbook if it's public, social media.
Crunchbase, Glassdoor, Comparably for reviews and insights.
All that research helps you tailor your answers and ask really smart questions later, shows you're genuinely interested.
And practice answering questions,
Right.
both technical and behavioral.
Absolutely. For behavioral questions, Remote.co suggests the STAR method.
Situation, task, action, result. Good framework.
Helps you structure your stories effectively. And be ready for maybe some abstract, open-ended questions, too.
And try to build rapport, even through the screen.
Yeah, be friendly, open, listen actively, find some common ground if you can. That connection still matters for cultural fit.
Prepare your own questions, too. Thoughtful ones.
Super important. Ask about the role specifics, remote team culture, team dynamics, company goals. Shows you're engaged and helps you decide if it's the right fit.
Take notes during the interview.
Good idea. Helps you remember things, formulate follow-up questions.
What about those awkward moments, like your internet drops or the dog starts barking?
Happens. K1 says stay calm. If the connection's bad, offer to turn off video, maybe switch to phone audio, apologize briefly for noise, mute yourself when not talking, don't dwell on it.
And hey, one potential upside of remote tech interviews.
What's that?
You might have your notes right there, off camera. And if there's a coding challenge, you're often in your own familiar coding environment.
True. That can be a definite advantage over doing it on a whiteboard in their office.
Good point. Okay, interview's over. What's the final step?
Follow-up. Remote.co really emphasizes this. Send a thank you email promptly.
Personalized, referencing something from the conversation.
Ideally, yes. And maybe connect on LinkedIn too. It reinforces your interest, keeps you top of mind.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
So let's try to bring it all together. The big picture for 2025. Tech jobs look set for strong long-term growth, right?
Yeah, the projections are solid. But that massive skills gap is the other side of the coin.
And companies are responding by focusing more on upskilling their existing teams.
Exactly, which puts a premium on continuous learning for you.
And remote work.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. It's a core part of tech now.
Definitely. Offers huge flexibility, but you've got to manage the challenges, isolation, communication, boundaries.
So to succeed in this landscape, you need that strategic approach we talked about.
Focusing on in-demand skills, knowing where to look for jobs, networking effectively online.
And nailing that virtual interview prep.
It seems like a lot of information, maybe.
It can feel like it.
Yeah.
But the key takeaway, really, is understanding these main trends.
Growth, skills gap, remote work, upskilling.
And then adapting your own learning, your own career strategy to fit that reality.
Precisely.
Okay, so here's a final thought to leave you with, something to mull over.
Okay.
With AI advancing so incredibly fast and tech skills becoming essential in basically every industry, not just tech companies.
Right. Tech is everywhere now.
How could your unique background, your passions, your other interests, how might they intersect with these tech trends? Could that create some unexpected, maybe really interesting new opportunities for you?
Thinking beyond the traditional tech roles.
Yeah. Think creatively about how you could position yourself to bridge that skills gap, maybe in some emerging cross-disciplinary field. It's an exciting time, lots of change.
It really is. Lots of potential for those willing to adapt and learn.
We're definitely excited to see where your learning journey takes you. Thanks so much for taking this deep dive with us today.